Hello everyone, and this is Jace Lejeune from Gridiron Football. We're beginning here our spring tours, the second time I'm doing it for Gridiron Football. And my first stop, of course, is Coach Neil Weiner and the Dunham Tigers. Coach, appreciate you as always for letting us check out what the Tigers are in store for this upcoming fall.
Yeah, absolutely, Jace. Glad to have you, and appreciate what Gridiron Football does for kids in Louisiana and beyond. And now we're excited to get started with spring. We, of course, at Dunham, we've always got great baseball, football guys. Baseball teams in the state quarterfinals. So we got a few guys missing, and then we've got a 4x1 track relay team that's competing for the state title on Friday. And so thankfully we got some guys that are on that. That means we got some speed coming back. So not everybody out here, but it's a great group, and we're excited to get started.
That's a good thing that your whole athletic program and the multiple teams are doing an excellent job and making it far in the playoffs and competing for state championships was just great. We can talk about the 2024 version of the Dunham Tigers. And last year, another great year. I mean, back-to-back district championships for y'all, playoff win this year. So after last year, I know you had to come bring a new quarterback in, and you're coming off a state championship runner-up finish from the year before. How do you assess the 2023 season?
Certainly, it was a good season. Lots of positives. You know, you always want to finish playing in the Superdome if you're in Louisiana, and so there's always a little bit of disappointment if that's all you're concerned about. And certainly that's on our priority list, but it's not the top priority. Our kids maxed out. Every week we played the best that we could. We only lost to one team the whole year. We just happened to play them twice, and it was two great games. It came down to the fourth quarter, and you know, we just didn't get on the good side of that one. But man, we had a great senior class last year. Smallest senior class we've had in 10 years at Dunham, but super productive. So we got a lot of big shoes to fill for sure.
Well, it always helps when you return your signal caller back, and I know everybody is raving about Elijah Haven and just what the natural type of player he is and athlete he is. But you've been around some really good quarterbacks, including Jackson House, led you all to state championship appearance. But what have you seen from, I know it was really early in spring, but what are you looking forward to seeing Elijah do in his second year as a full-time starter?
Well, you know, Elijah came in with lots of confidence in his own ability, and he grew in confidence in what we do as an offense, and he got better and better as the year went on, which, you know, in the first game was statistically probably his best game of the year, but he got better just operating the offense as it went along. And so this offseason he's really focused the quarterback position, not just the mental part of understanding coverages and what we're trying to do with different passing concepts, but really working on his game, specifically how quick he can get the ball out, how accurate he can be in the quick game RPOs, and then just continue to improve his feet. I mean, he's a naturally gifted guy. We're not going to try to overcoach it too much, but we are going to try to fine-tune some things.
Well, I know a lot of college coaches have talked to you and definitely kept their eye on Elijah Haven. There's a good reason why, for sure. But I know he's really the biggest headliner coming back. But I know you're losing some guys like Jack Coma was a big-time play receiver for y'all and a lot of offensive guys. But who are some guys that could really fill in their shoes and kind of step up on the leadership role that you've seen so far from the spring?
Sure, from an offensive productive standpoint, I mean, you lose production, you lose Como. Mason Wild, who was a great senior starter for us, who got hurt right at the end of the season at running back. Drew Bourgeois was kind of a Mr. Everything for us on offense. So there's three big guys that we lost on offense for sure. We have overall our receiving core is probably better than last year from top to bottom. We were pretty top heavy last year with Como and Bourgeois for sure. But we've got a young group of guys that are kind of ready to have their turn. You know, Trevor Heyman is a really good one. Bronson Bonneville has been a primary defensive back for us. He's been a two-year starter on defense, and he'll start on offense. Grant Morgan is another kid who started at safety last year. Will play a lot on offense. Richard Montgomery is really a name to watch, I think, in the next 2 years. I think he's going to start getting a lot of attention. Trevor Heyman, who looks like a linebacker but plays receiver and safety for us. Will Danton, Jerron Harris. I mean, it's a big crew. Chris Thomas is going to come on the scene. Chris is about 6'2½", about 180 pounds. Sophomore rising junior is going to be excellent for us. So it's a great group of wide receivers. And at running back, Colin Piku returns. Colin took over the starting role and was fantastic for us. And then we had an enrollee mid-year from Southern Lab, Jerome J.J. Harris, who was a 1,000-yard rusher as a 10th grader last year. He's not with us in football just yet because he's on that 4x1 relay team. So we haven't actually got to see him do a whole lot of football yet, but we played against him. He scored against us, so I know he's pretty good.
Oh yeah, he certainly had a couple really good running backs. Yeah. I know he was definitely one of that trio that helped him win to that state championship last year. And I know we just got here, Coach, and it was really teaching on the fundamentals, going back to the basics. But what do you really want to accomplish from your team for spring?
Yeah, well, we want to keep everybody healthy, but we want to create kind of a work ethic and an attitude that they know they have to go full speed. We're going to be up front. This will be the smallest group that we've had in about 4 years, and so those guys, they just got to play like their hair's on fire, and they got to do it with great technique. So that's not always easy to do. You know, you can run through the woods at night with your eyes closed, and you'll get smacked in the face by a tree. You know, you got to know what you're doing and still go full speed. And so that's the challenge, to teach these new guys, some younger guys, some smaller guys, hey, this is how you play as fast as you can and do it the right way.
2 questions, Coach. I won't keep you too long because I know you got to wrap up practice and everything. But really the second to last question, as far as what kind of overall team should the Dunham Tiger fans be expecting from this group this year?
Well, it'll be a fast, aggressive, up-tempo team on both sides of the ball. We're going to be aggressive on defense because of the size that we don't have that we've had the last 3 or 4 years. We're going to have to be super aggressive. We'll be stunting, we'll be blitzing a lot, and we're going to put a lot of trust into our defensive backs. We got multi-year starters back there, so we'll be aggressive on defense, and we'll be just as aggressive on offense. I mean, we throw the ball deep, we run the ball fast. We'll have the same feel on offense. We'll have more guys. The ball will be spread out more. It won't always be the Jack Como show. So we'll be forced to spread it out. But with 2 great running backs, a fantastic quarterback, and a slew of receivers, our offensive line, we got 3 starters returning on the offensive line: Hopelon Elridge, Joshua Baychok, and Connor Guidros. So those 3 guys are going to be great leaders for us.
You know, it looks like the Dunham Tigers going to be scoring a lot of points this year, so defenses, watch out. And then finally, Coach, spring game coming up. Is there a spring game coming up and just a fall scrimmage? Like, what's the upcoming games before the season starts?
Yeah, really, no spring game. We've done that the last couple of years with Kentwood, and it's been great. It's been super competitive. They're so talented and well coached. But I feel like every single year we've had somebody that's gotten hurt, and they haven't been able to participate all summer. And they get back for August, but they miss out on developing and getting stronger. And so for us, we're just not going to do the scrimmage. So it'll be a scrimmage against Bruley, and then Jamboree against U-High, and then first week 1 is Parkview.
Oh, that's awesome. So that U-High this fall, I'm sure that's going to be like the battle of the Baton Rouge with a couple of different teams, or is this the one?
Yeah, this is the Baton Rouge Rumble or Red Stick Rumble or whatever. I don't know what it is. I just tell them, hey, tell us who we're playing and what time, and we'll be there. So yeah, it should be great. I think Madison Prep and Catholic High. You know, Parkview's there. I think St. Michael is there. So should be a great atmosphere.
Coach, I appreciate you as always for allowing us to have access and take a look at the Dunham Tigers this year. We're looking forward to covering the Dunham Tigers in a lot of games this year. So we'll have more spring game or spring practice analysis up here. So make sure to go to gridironfootballusa.com. Coach, pleasure as always.
Absolutely,
and looking forward to see what the Dunham Tigers do in 2024.